Hello everyone, A.B.I. here, and on today's A.B.I.torial, we're talking about the struggles of localizing a Japanese game for Western audiences, and there's no petting in Fire Emblem Fates! I'm okay, I think. So for those of you who are uninformed, the latest upcoming Fire Emblem title, Fire Emblem Fates, featured the ability to have your player character bond with his or her teammates and build relationships, which would in turn affect their teamwork and give them strength, a prominent feature of the previous game, Fire Emblem Awakening. In addition to this, Fates allowed players to intimately touch their partner's face to increase affection in a touchscreen minigame, kinda like Pokemon ME from Pokemon X and Y. However, the localized version of the game for North America has opted to remove this feature. And I'm not the only one who's upset about this change. This is not the first time Nintendo of America has chosen to child-proof Western releases of their games, much less a Fire Emblem title. Some of you might remember the removal of the breast size slider and the alterations to Lynn's armor in Xenoblade Chronicles X, the removal of the bikini costumes in Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water, the vampire costume and the Bravo bikini in Bravely Default, and even the beach scenario in Fire Emblem Awakening. Really, Nintendo? I mean, the original artwork of Tharja isn't even lewd or anything. She just has a butt. Are we so afraid of children learning about the existence of Tharja's butt that we have to censor it? The kids will learn the truth eventually. Santa Claus doesn't exist, the Tooth Fairy is just your parents sneaking quarters under your pillow, and girls have butts. It's not an urban legend. So how did putting curtains on butts escalate into removing a head-patting game? I don't have a definite answer, but I've long suspected that the West has been cultivating its phobia of sexuality, and is reaching a point where any hint of sexuality, no matter how innocent or innocuous, must be purged. Developers, and not just Nintendo, have become so afraid of harming our fragile Western sensibilities that games have to go through a meat grinder on their way overseas. The kind of people who would have bought this game do so because they want these weird, quirky features. If you're trying to reach out to new audiences, you can't just remove these features and pretend that the genre is now acceptable. I feel like the ESRB is barely doing its job anymore, and the divide between what makes a T-rated game and what makes an M-rated game is getting extremely vague. For instance, why is Aramika and Nadeshiko's double butt smash acceptable for a T rating, but their double Kinnikuman buster is somehow crossing the line? Why is Cammy's intro animation a problem when Chun-Li's alt costume is in the game and offers literally the same thing? And why do we get triggered by panties and face touching when Western games frequently exploit sex with impunity? This is a double standard that has never made sense to me. Western games actively push for an M rating so they can get as exploitative as they want under the implication that these games are for adult hands only, even though misinformed or apathetic parents will buy these games for their kids anyway. So implied sexuality is bad, but actual sexuality is edgy and mature when America does it? That's enough from me. If you have any thoughts on localization issues and the dangers of face touching, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and consider supporting us on Patreon. We always appreciate your donations. I'm A.B.I., and I could really use a pat on the head right now. I'll see you next time.